Hi, my name is Brittany, and today we'll be talking about prearranging. Why should we prearrange? Prearranging is one of the best things that you can do for your family and your surviving loved ones. Prearranging puts down all your wishes in writing and essentially takes care of the burden for your family of planning services, picking out merchandise, anything of that nature for celebrating and remembering your life. Most people like to do it because of that burden that's taken off of their family. A lot of times I've seen an unexpected death happen in a family, and then later on the family comes in to prearrange for either themselves or another loved one that is sick. So that is the benefit of prearranging, one of the most influential benefits, I believe. There is a difference between prearranging and pre-funding. Prearranging is just that, writing down your wishes, selecting merchandise, arranging services, luncheons, anything of that nature so that your loved ones don't have to. There is a difference between prearranging and pre-funding. Prearranging is just writing down the wishes and keeping them on file at a funeral home. Pre-funding, however, adds in the financial aspect. Pre-funding essentially lets people make payments over time for their pre-selected services. It locks in the price for them, which is very nice. And here in Michigan, what we do with pre-funding is they actually go into a third-party trust until time of passing, so that it secures that money and it can actually grow and create more, added value to that policy, so that family can pick out more services or add on or extra keepsakes or things like that. So what you can expect during an arrangement conference. When you come in, you should be greeted by the receptionist or the funeral director themselves. You should be guided into either a waiting room or an arrangement room and comforted by the director so that they can let you know that they're there for you and they understand what you're going through. Also, something that I've recently learned is a lot of times people come into the funeral home for the first time when they meet you. Taking a tour of the funeral home can help put them at ease and make them feel a little bit more comfortable while they are there at the funeral home. After the tour, they should be seated in the arrangement room again. You should sit down and talk about their loved one. A lot of times it's really hard. There's lots of tears and crying. But if you sit down and take the time to talk about their loved one, people feel more at ease and they feel like the director cares about them and not just wanting to get the arrangements over with and only care about the payment. So then after you get to know a little bit about the loved one, you can take your notes, you can sit and talk about what the family wants. If you're prearranging, you're actually there with the person a lot of the times, which is nice. So you can get a feel for their personality and who they are. Sit down and talk about what they want from themselves, whether it be a full traditional funeral or a memorial service, or a small celebration of life with a luncheon to follow, things like that. Next, after getting an idea for their personality and what they want, you would start to talk about pricing. You should always introduce the GPL first, because that is FTC recommended, and then, or not recommended, but mandated. And then what we do is we go into our packaging pricing. So, after hearing what they want, you can sit down with them and say that you suggest this package or a different one. And then what I do from there is, after we go through the packaging, I sit and I, with their permission, write an obituary, and I have them proof it before leaving so that they know exactly what is going on, who is surviving, and what they would like written about them. A lot of times that can be very helpful. Then as far as prearranging, payment would be taken and put into a third party financial institution just so that it is secure at that time. After all the paperwork is signed and everything, I like to re-go over everything so that we are all on the same page and make sure they have copies of the paperwork that they need. And we have all the signatures and everything that we need. So once again, pre-arranging can be very beneficial for families. It can be very hard on families when the death is unexpected and there's nothing put in place. So it puts a large burden on the family dealing with the unexpected death, and then on top of making funeral arrangements, it can be very stressful. So pre-arranging is definitely the way to go.